Hey guys, Angelo Lambropoulos, Director of Lambros Realty here, and you're watching the 31st episode of FAQu, Frequently Asked Questions, in which I answer for you as a consumer. Today the topic I'm going to talk to you about is the, obviously being episode 31, is the trick to buying and selling and correcting property markets. Now, the reason this topic's come about is a few of you out there are a little worried that you're not getting the prices you would have got if you were to sell your property six months ago, because the market's correcting and you think it's not the best time to sell. On the flip side, these markets are also present a good time to sell and a good area of opportunity if you utilize terms and conditions properly. Now, what I'm getting at here is this. So, the trick really is the extended settlement period. Now let me explain how this works. So say for instance your house 6 months ago was worth 1.5. You're now forced to accept 1.4. Okay, so that's a $100,000 loss, which is massive. So naturally what you do is use the extended settlement option. Okay, now what that allows you to do, you have an 84-day settlement, which is 3 months as opposed to 42 days being 6 weeks. What this does is, using that to your advantage, you obviously want to make sure there's a clause in there in your contract for sale, and speak to your solicitor about this, that you're allowed to access the 10% holding deposit in which the purchasers have placed in the trust account of the real estate agent. So accessing that will allow you to purchase your new home. And most purchasers are accommodating and understand this. Most purchasers out there want the extended settlement themselves because they, time on market is taking a lot longer now. So it works in to their favor to obviously wait for the extended settlement. So you shouldn't have any problems there. Now, what that also allows you to do is when it hits the purchase period time, what will happen is you can then approach the property you're interested in. So obviously 2 months have now elapsed. Now, let's talk about a home you were looking at worth, say, $1 million. That $1 million home has gone down to, say, $850,000. Okay. Now, letting it ride for the 2 months, the vendor sitting on the other end are thinking, wow, I'm desperate, I need to sell. Now, what will happen is then when you approach them with a 30-day settlement option and willing to put a 10% holding deposit, you could find yourself with a furthermore discount, because the agent there will be saying, all right, well, we've got somebody that's ready to go, willing to make a move. And, for instance, if the agent's telling you they've had offers of 870 and, they've been declined, well, don't go in with 870 and a 10% 30-day settlement. I'd go in at 850. Because it makes it very attractive, right? So you'll find yourself with a bit of negotiating room there as well. So when you're purchasing, that will work in your favor. When you're purchasing and holding off, essentially what you're doing, that 2 months you've left and let elapse, right? As opposed to renting before you buy in. Look, that's an option too, sure. But if you want to transact in similar markets and do the move once, that's the trick. So run the 84-day settlement. So what that'll do, give yourself 2 months, let the market further correct, and then when the time hits, you come in to purchase using a 30-day settlement option and a 10% deposit. Your offer will appeal very attractive in this market using that strategy. So really, that's the trick. The terms and conditions, that's what you want to use up your sleeve. And as they say in real estate, money's made when you buy. So sure, you lose 100,000 off the sale of your house, or 5%, whatever it may be. But on the flip side, what you're doing is when you're transacting, the party on the other side is losing, close to 10%, right? Because the market's correcting. So I'm using hypothetical figures here, but what I'm saying is in a correcting market, that's what happens. Okay. So I hope I hope I've explained it well and I haven't confused you. Again, please feel free to call me, Angelo Lambropoulos, as I said, Director of Lambros Realty. You can call me on 0294810999. You can email me on info@lambrosrealty.com.au, or you can visit me at the office being over here at Apple Tree Shops, CHERRYBROOK. So again, don't fear the correcting markets. You look at your changeover price, because again, in booming markets, you find yourself selling before you buy. On average, it takes 6 months to buy back in. And basically, when you buy in a market such as that, you'll find yourself in a lot more financial hardship, right? Because the market's growing, you've sold, at the point where it's still growing, and you find yourself, finding it very hard to get back in. Whereas now, on the flip side, it's actually, if you look at your changeover price and you've got the funds that allow you to do what you need to do, the ball's in your court, because you're not the only one that's lost money on your home. The others have too. You're transacting in similar markets. So I hope that helps. As I said, any further questions, contact me, and I hope I haven't confused you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next week.